Good? Alive? Wait, am I up? I think I'm up. All right, I'm good. Hey, guys, this is Wolfie, and we are going to look at what's going on around 49ers training camp. We are going to check out perspectives from 49ers content creators from all kinds that people super disagree with or people, tend to agree with, like David Lombardi. If you're a fan of him, you probably disagree with Grant Cohn. If you like Grant Cohn, you probably disagree with David Lombardi. So it's good to kind of get all the perspectives so that way you have an accumulation of info. So let's go ahead and check out our first run-of-the-mill is going to be Grant Cohn. We'll get him out of the way first. This is going to be his good and not so good series that he tends to have. So he separates the good and the bad halves. Yep. All right. Here we go. Jesus, that lighting. Mine's bad, but dang.
The veterans had the day off. The good quarterback Brock Purdy.
Ooh.
He didn't have the day off, and he threw 0 interceptions for the second practice in a row, which is big for Purdy, considering he threw 7 interceptions.
All right, right off the bat, dude. Let's calm down. Those 7 interceptions were literally like 1.5 days. He threw 3 picks on Monday, and then half of practice he threw 4 interceptions. So it was 1.5 practices. And then no pads. I don't think he threw any interceptions. Let's just relax, man. He accumulated 2 days, no picks. Okay. Right off the bat, dude.
Combined on Monday and Tuesday. Purdy said he was testing himself to see what he could and couldn't get away with on the field. Fair enough. Now he knows his limitations, so he shouldn't make the same mistakes again. Instead of running around and forcing passes downfield when the pocket collapses like he's Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, just take the freaking sack. Be Brock Purdy. And that's exactly what he did today.
He probably played that way. He probably played safely because he doesn't have Trent Williams out there. He doesn't have Banks. And I believe he doesn't have Feliciano. So he knows that, okay, in my situation of having literally no time to throw the ball, I have to be safe. That's probably what he did. And he probably tried doing that Monday and Tuesday. That's probably what got him in trouble because the offensive line is so bad. The offensive line is bad. It doesn't get enough rip. No one talks enough crap about the offensive line. It just doesn't happen enough.
Growth. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel. He still hasn't missed a practice this offseason, which is impressive considering Christian McCaffrey takes every other day off, and he's younger than Samuel. Samuel is the tone setter for the offense every day. Last year, the tone setter was Brandon Ayuk, but he still hasn't practiced this offseason. More on him in a minute. Tight end George Kittle. He's almost 31, and he still practices like he's 24. Today, he caught 3 passes, a 10-yarder, a 15-yarder, and a 30-yarder, which just shows you how good of a receiver Kittle still.
Wow. We haven't seen a game like that from Kittle in quite some time, man. That's crazy. That's talent.
Is. Too bad the 49ers treat him like a 4th option. He'd be a go-to guy on any other team. Linebacker Fred Warner. He practiced while Nick Bosa took the day off, even though Bosa is a year younger than him, which proves that Warner is the leader of this defense. He's more invested than Bosa. Wide receiver Trent Taylor. He made a diving 20-yard catch on a pass thrown by Brandon Allen. Watch Taylor make the team and catch more passes than Ricky Pearsall this season. I wish I were joking. Wide receiver Chris Conley.
He's joking, y'all. Relax. Unless Pearsall gets hurt, stop it. That is you are joking. That is a joke. Stop it, dude.
Conley. He beat starting cornerback Diamador Lenore with a dig route for a 10-yard catch during a move the ball period of 11-on-11 team drills.
What's up?
I haven't seen Deebo Samuel beat Lenore once in camp, so this is a big accomplishment. Conley should make the 53-man roster, but probably won't because he's almost 32. Linebacker Tatum Bethune.
I disagree 110%. I don't think Kyle Shanahan cares for age. I think that if if he clicks with Brock Purdy, he's going to stay on the team. And he's in the playoffs. He made multiple catches that were clutch, I believe. He made plays. He made like one catch in regular season. He wasn't used that much, but when he was, they were clutch plays. And he's constantly making plays in training camp. Before the training camp, I had him cut, practice squad guy. Now, I think he makes the cut because he's also a good special teamer as well. So, like Belly solid, I think he's from Michigan. Yeah, he's from Michigan. He was a 7th-round pick the year before, I should say. Yeah, I like him a lot. He muffs punts. He should never touch a punt ever. He's absolutely atrocious at that. He's just I think in practice already he's got 2 muff punts and he's got one already in a game. So he just needs to stay away from that part of special teams. But yeah, I like his talent. I think he's got talent. I agree with you. Good call. Good call out.
He stripped the ball away from Cam Latu. More on him in a minute. The 49ers are excellent at scouting and developing linebackers, and Bethune seems like their next good one. The run defense.
Okay.
This is interesting. It was a major issue last year, and the 49ers never made an adjustment, never changed their defensive front, just kept using the wide 9, which kept getting gashed.
True.
Now the Niners have a new defensive coordinator and a new assistant head coach, and they've added some wrinkles to the defense. Today, the Niners practiced a 5-man defensive front for the first time in years. I haven't seen them use one since 2018. And unsurprisingly, it actually was effective against the run. I know. Look for the Niners to use 5-man fronts more frequently this year. And look for Javon Hargrave to flourish as a result. The best years of his career were on the Eagles in a 5-man front. You guessed it. The not.
So that's actually exciting. If that's true, if Larry Krueger and Dave Lombardi can back that up. I mean, if they're going to a 5, I like a 5-man defense. But then, that's just like the Madden player in me. I haven't played Madden in a while, so I don't know what it's like now. But 5-man defense front was legit. And if we could, I think we got the linebacker. I think we got the linebackers and DNs and D tackles to make that happen. So that would be exciting. I'm actually excited for that. Hopefully. And we got the corners. I could see it. We got the corners. We got the linebackers. We got the safeties. I can see it. Ray went to the Falcons, says Milwaukee. Yeah, he did. He did. Good riddance. Good riddance. He's a little salty, if I remember correctly.
Wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. He didn't watch practice from the sideline like he did 2 days ago. Maybe that means he's in the process of signing his extension or getting traded to another team.
Young or Purdy? Young, for sure. I mean, I love Purdy. I think he's fantastic. But Young is way more accomplished. I think Purdy is clutch. He's shown that. But again, I just think Young just has more of a resume. But Purdy, if he continues how he's playing right now throughout his career, that could easily change. If you want Young or Purdy. Young or Montana? Montana, for sure. I think Montana is the second best quarterback of all time, behind Tom Brady, and then behind him is Patrick Mahomes. So, all right.
Or maybe his stomach hurt and he couldn't make it.
You agree?
Interpret his absence as you will. If I were him, which I'm not, I would not sign an extension with the 49ers because he can get much more money next year on another team. So wait, be patient, and ask for more than $14 million this year. And be patient. I would not sign an extension. If I were him, with the process of signing his extension or getting traded to another team, or maybe look for Javon Hargrave to flourish as a result.
All right.
The best years of his career were on the Eagles in a 5-man front. You guessed it.
In a 5-man front.
So good. Wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. He didn't watch practice from the sideline like he did 2 days ago. Maybe that means he's in the process of signing his extension or getting traded to another team, or maybe his stomach hurt and he couldn't make it. Interpret his absence as you will. If I were him, which I'm not.
Maybe he's over at Commander's training camp right now getting a physical. And once he passes, the trade's going to be announced. And that's why he was not at training camp. You know what? What if he got food poisoning? It is terrible weather out there. Food can get really, really disgusting very fast. I mean, sweating. Who cares about money? Milwaukee says, who cares about money? I want my ring. Yeah, for sure, dude. I want that ring. I'd be all about that.
I would not sign an extension with the 49ers because he can get much more money next year on another team. So wait, be patient, and ask for more than $14 million this year. And if the Niners won't give him a raise, sit out half the season. They get what they pay for. Wide receiver Ricky.
God, man, like why, dude?
Pearsall. He allegedly practiced during team drills and definitely didn't catch any passes. The 49ers are being extremely cautious with Pearsall because he pulled his hamstring a few weeks ago. Fair enough. Still, he's having a quiet camp.
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. Let's just look at it realistically. Is Brock Purdy not having a good camp with the wide receivers he currently has against an elite defense already? 2 days in a row, not throwing interception, playing fantastic, throwing to players like Chris Connolly, depth backups, okay? And I think that says a lot. I think that's another story we're not really paying attention to, like what he's performing with literal backups. Like he doesn't have the Avengers out there. You know what I mean? And he's performing. So let's get some props here.
Wide receiver Juwan Jennings. He missed his second practice in a row with an ankle injury. Kyle Shanahan said he expects Jennings to practice tomorrow.
Okay, one more thing. I'm gonna let him finish the rest of the video. I promise I'll stop. Okay, I just want to say one more thing. I don't like the fact that you get on the not so good list with this guy because you're hurt. That's not fair, man. Like he's hurt, dude. It's outside of his control. He's doing what he can. And maybe what he means by not so good as in like not so good, like just in general around camp. But it sounds so harsh when you put it that way. But yeah, I think Juwan Jennings has an outstanding camp so far. I think he deserves to not be on this list because of that. That's kind of how I feel about it. But
wide receiver Jacob Cowing. He missed yet another practice with a hamstring injury, and it seems unlikely that he will return soon or make an impact this year. He's falling behind. Running back Jordan Mason. He fumbled, which means the Niners probably won't give him the ball in a real game until week 11. They don't tolerate fumbling in practice. Of course, fumbling in the Super Bowl is acceptable. I'm looking at you, Christian McCaffrey. Tight end Cam Latu. He caught 2 passes today, which is outstanding for him. But right after he made the second catch, he fumbled and the defense recovered, which is not outstanding. If getting open, catching the ball, and holding onto it were skills that didn't matter for a tight end, he'd be elite. Quarterback Joshua Dobbs. He underthrew a deep pass to Danny Gray, who was open, and almost got intercepted by Ambry Thomas, who dropped a gimme because he's Ambry Thomas. Joshua Dobbs is a great backup quarterback, except when he has to throw the ball more than 5 yards downfield. Then he's terrible. Kicker Jake Moody. He missed 2 field goals today because people were watching him and he was under pressure. He's so much.
He missed 2, dude. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. That's a big deal. That's a big no-no. Even in practice. You get 1. You get 1 in practice. That is it. 2, we got a problem. That's a trend in kicker terms. Jake is selling. Yeah, no doubt, Milwaukee. No doubt, dude. 2 is selling, dude. 2 is selling. Selling hard. I wonder how far away they are. Like, if he tells me, okay, you know what will make it feel better? If he elaborates. If he says the kicks were like, 54 yards plus, we'll give him a pass. But if it's anything short of 49, nah, man, that's bad. We'll see.
Much better when no one can see him kick. As a courtesy, fans should turn around or simply look at the sky when he's kicking. How would you feel if people stared at you when you did your job?
You see what he did there? Since because he works on people stare at him while he has to do his job. So it's like a pun almost. 50, he can't miss NFL. Yeah. You do need to score those 50s for sure. I hear you. That's important. He did in the Super Bowl. He has 2 of these, the longest kick in the Super Bowl. So that's something. He's got something on his resume. All right, let's get this guy out of here. Bring up my big ass beautiful face. Let me change. All right, we are going to head at Larry. We're going to look at not Larry Krueger, but David Lombardi's situation. What does he have to say about what happened today? One second. Just looking it up. 49ers instant reaction. This one's 4 minutes long. Check this out. Oh, yeah, that's right. The 49ers signed an offensive lineman, Pat Elflein. Apparently, he's one of the top guards available in free agency. So that's something. Anyway, let's get back to the David Lombardi's thing. So 3 minutes long. 3 minutes long. Hey, Milwaukee. Okay. Boom. Okay, here we go. This is David Lombardi's situation. Okay. I don't know what that means, brother. I don't know what this means. I don't know what that means. All right, let's get this started.
49ers practice field. Here's your instant reaction from Levi's Stadium. Brock Purdy, solid again. That offensive
line.
Yeah,
I give that a shot.
First team offensive line.
Can you do all the Jags players under a minute?
Having to
try to get a shot. Let me do
during the
one series at a time,
period,
though. So that way
the chains actually move with the offense. So we're going to see a lot more of this. It's going to much more closely resemble actual gameplay. Brock Purdy moved the offense down the field. The first play was a 40-yard gain to George Kittle where he stepped up in the pocket and found. Here's your instant reaction from Levi's Stadium. Brock Purdy, solid again. That offensive line, though, that first team offensive line needs to be better. It's a lot of Brock Purdy having to create. And during the move the ball period, which means the chains actually move with the offense. So we're going to see a lot more of this. It's going to much more closely resemble actual gameplay. Brock Purdy moved the offense down the field. The first play was a 40-yard gain to George Kittle where he stepped up in the pocket and found that pocket over the middle of the field and the center of the coverage.
Is that play that was
yards or so, and then George Kittle took it the rest of the way, the rest of the 20 yards. But the very next play on that drive, there was a pitch back to Jordan Mason who fumbled it. Javon Hargrave, the defensive tackle, picked it up. There's no end zone on the other side of the field. These are just short fields
Mason fumbled
at the 49ers practice facility. So Hargrave went sprinting the other way. Would have been a fumble 6 probably.
That would be like the first negative thing we've heard about Mason. So far, he's been a stud. So I think this is his first fumble. And that was kind of a concern with Kyle in the first place. But, I mean, he's gotten better with it.
Probably if there had been an end zone on that side of the field. Other than that, though, Brock Purdy was finding receivers. There was a clutch third down conversion in move the ball to Chris Conley, who was able to muscle the ball away from Diamador Lenore. But one of those plays where it had to be pinpoint accuracy.
Muscles away from Diamador Lenore. That's a big deal, man. Chris Conley, Grant Cohn had something good about him. Had something good to say about him. David Lombardi had something good to say about him. I don't know. I think he should make the roster.
That football to get where it needed to be. I think that the story that we really need to focus on, though, is Chris Conley has been impressing. I think that, he was a practice squad yo-yo last year. Between what he did in the Super Bowl as a gunner, really good work, downing 2 punts inside the 5, right, for the 49ers. People don't talk about that because the 49ers obviously didn't win the game. But between that, special teams work, and some of the big catches that he's made, connecting with Brock Purdy in clutch situations. You talk about the Packers game in the playoffs last year and obviously practice today. He might be on the inside of that 53-man roster picture. But Trent Taylor is also making it interesting. The 49er for 4 years, from 2017 to 2020, he's re-signed with
Trent Taylor. If he makes the roster, that'd be incredible, really.
He's now made 2 or 3 diving catches.
That would be incredible.
Today he caught one from Brandon Allen on just an out, maybe 15 yards downfield. Allen rolled to the right and had to throw it ahead of Trent Taylor.
It's a question here. Chris is the backup tight end, right? Chris Conley is he's a wide receiver. He's we got him from like the practice squad last year, and him and Brock Purdy just have, for some reason, this crazy connection right now. So he used to play for the Texans. He's 6'4", big dude. He's got dreadlocks. He's a good just a great connection with the Brock Purdy. So definitely should probably stick around. Not gonna lie. You got Madden CFB. I do not, brother. I do not. I have not played Madden in those games in a while.
Taylor
will not get my money.
Catch. We know how reliable Trent is as a returner. So that's something that could give him a leg up for a roster spot, or at least a practice squad spot where maybe he takes the yo-yo position, moving up, moving down, that Chris Conley held last season. Not great news on Cam Latu, second year tight end who had the drop issues in training camp last year. He caught a pass, then he caught another one right after. And on the play, Tatum Bethune, the rookie linebacker out of Florida State, just knocked it away. Latu probably had the ball long enough for it to be considered a catch. Taylor Hawkins picked it up, ran it back for a touchdown. Didn't see Brandon Ayuk.
I know Bethune is apparently balling out this training camp. Latu's had an extra camp over Bethune already. And Latu's supposed to be a big dude. Bethune is like a smaller dude, like 5'11" or something. Like, this dude better be able to block, like, really good, that to the point you can't cut him. Like, he's got to be like George Kittle, be able to block to not cut him, because so far he's just not. A good day for him is literally catching the ball.
Out on the practice field today. I know a lot of people were paying very close attention to the hug and the handshake the other day. Did not end up meaning that an extension was imminent, as we said at the time, but didn't see him out on the practice field. That hasn't been all too unusual, though. There have been days where Ayuk has been watching, and there have been days when he hasn't been watching. A couple days ago, he wasn't out there, and then I ran into him walking off the field, and he seemed to be in a good mood. I'm going to have the full notes from practice coming up. That was just the Spark notes today. Wanted to give you guys the instant reaction, so be sure to like, subscribe, and be ready for more. Going in to talk to Kyle Shanahan.
A little too excited about that. Go to talk to Kyle Shanahan. Talk to Kyle Shanahan. I'm fucking baked right now. All right, so that was David Lombardi. So pretty much whatever Johnny Edit says, hello, what's up, man? Do I like Cobra Kai? I do not watch that show. I am not a Cobra Kai guy. I've heard it's cringe, though, from what I hear. I've heard it's pretty cringe. So we're going to go ahead and do the next list we're doing. Larry Krueger. This is the last one. Let me get that situated. If you guys are asking questions, got something to say, sorry, I'm doing things if I miss it. And sometimes I'm watching the video, so sometimes I don't see your questions. So I have to go back into the viewers to see the comments. Mad cottonmouth, yo. Absolutely brutal. It's brutal. Dude, you know what, man? All right. okay, look, with all due respect, I'm not bagging on Larry Krueger, I promise. I'm not, but bro's got the longest like videos of everyone. Dude puts in the work. He puts in the work. Because everyone else, he knows everyone else's videos is like 3 minutes, 4 minutes long. His 10 minutes plus. He knows what's up. He knows what's up. Johnny S says I subbed. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family, bro. Welcome to the family. All right, let's get it. We're probably not gonna watch all of it. We're just gonna get the gist of it. 14 minutes is I'll like the video. I'll shoot him a like. If we don't watch all of it, how about that? Boom. Dude's got a like. Let's go. The face. All right. I'm childish. Let's go.
Taking a Pickle Krug show at Levi Stadium after 49ers practice down here in Santa Clara. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California.
Pig and a Pickle.
Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Go say hi to Damon. Go say hi to Mary. Get some brisket. Tell them that Krug sent you. And, of course, this video also brought to you by Sharp Corner Sports Cards. And
Dude has hit this line in every video locked down. Like he's never fumbled.
Collectibles along the Monterey Peninsula. My good friend Anthony Catania down there. Sharp Corner Sports Cards and Collectibles in Pacific Grove, California. Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. All right, we're down here in Santa Clara. Niners just finished practice. They made a roster addition today. They signed Pat Elflein, an offensive lineman.
Have a good day.
And they waived Bryson Mays, who's an undrafted free agent center from Southern Miss. So Elflein played at Ohio State, grew up in suburban Columbus, dreaming of being a Buckeye, and then was a 4-year wrestler. I love that background. I love that wrestling background. 6'2", about 305 pounds. And he's got that toughness. He's got that balance. Unfortunately, he did pull his calf in the first practice. So we don't know about his status going forward, but he was picked up today, and Bryson Mays was waived. Couple other things today. No new news on Trent Williams or Brandon Ayuk. Trent Williams continues to hold out. Brandon Ayuk continues to hold in, right? Though Ayuk was not at practice today. What does it all mean? What's the update? Shanahan said no update. No new update on Trent, no new update on Ayuk. It was interesting. Shanahan was asked about Ayuk and, dapping him up at practice the other day. And he just said, that's just the way he normally gives handshake.
God, I think that's such an overanalyzed thing, dude. It had to have been like, if they were going to do something like that, I don't think it would have been at practice, if it really actually meant something. The moment, and that's where all the rumors got blown up. If not for that happening, I bet you would not heard of like, oh, something imminent is happening. Oh, everyone leached onto this so hard that it create this narrative that a signing is going to happen soon. It's still possible, however, but where else could it have come from? There is no other source. People heard that and they're like, oh, sources say. And it's like, come on, man. I'm ranting.
And it was nothing, and he played it down as nothing. So a lot of people have speculated that either Ayuk's on the verge of signing an extension or that he's on the verge of being traded. Shanahan was giving no information on that, said that it really was not significant that he dapped up Ayuk. I hate to report this, but there's a guy named Pretty Ricky 213 on X who says that Brandon Ayuk and a 3rd-round pick to the Raiders for Devontae Adams. And I don't even know if there's any legitimacy to it or not.
Nah,
the guy does have 40,000 followers. And so I thought I would at least mention that that's out there. There's also speculation that Ayuk could be traded to the Browns. I don't know if any of it's true or any of it's viable or not. It's really difficult to know at this juncture, what's viable and what's just absolute hearsay. So that's the latest. Renardo Green, I thought looked good today. He played outside cornerback against the twos. I thought he had great tight coverage. Isaac Yiadom, we talked to Yiadom, who's looked really good in this camp. About Ricky Pearsall, and he said
he says that Yiadom was doing great in this camp. Grant Cohn says he's not doing very well. So That's one thing I've noticed throughout all these since doing this series. That's the one difference is Yadam. Is he actually playing good or not? So keep an eye on that.
I really like him a lot. He said he's a great receiver. He's a great release guy at the line of scrimmage. He says if he keeps working, he's going to be really great in this offense and in this league. So it's great to hear Yadam have nice things to say about Pearsall. Pearsall also took the podium today and talked a little bit about, I asked him about how hard it is at this level to maintain separation throughout the entirety of the route. And he kind of admitted that is a major factor. And it's just difficult to not just get separation, but to maintain it. But he said he works on all the nuances of it. He's got a great little rapport going with Brock Purdy early on. Purdy, by the way, today, no interceptions. Took a few sacks. Didn't float the ball down the field. Didn't take as many chances. There was no CMC today at practice. So
Owen's trash.
He didn't have the ultimate safety valve in McCaffrey out here. By the way, on the injury front, Aaron Banks did not practice today. He has got back spasms, so he didn't practice with back spasms. Juwan Jennings has been battling an ankle. He wasn't out there today. Jacob Cowing's trying to get back on the field as well. He's trying to work his way back from a hamstring injury. And Cowing was working out on a side field throughout practice today. There is not going to, Kyle Shanahan told us there will not be a surgery coming up for Spencer Burford. He does have a broken hand, but it's not going to require surgery. He's still going to wind up missing, they're thinking maybe 3-4 weeks. But, if you have surgery, now you're 2-3 months and not weeks. The great Guy Haberman in the house. Look who's in the house.
Great
Guy Haberman back from Portugal.
Guy Haberman, man. Yo, Guy Haberman fans. Just invaded Larry's video.
I'm jumping into my video here
as we car with you.
Yes, as we commandeer a golf cart.
Dude looks like a Nickelodeon character. I don't mean to talk shit. I can't look at me, man. I can't talk shit. But
here at Levi's, guys, scoot in here for a sec. What did you think? Give me a quick.
Oh shit! We get double the analysis.
What we've seen thus far in this practice. I mean, they signed Pat Elflein today, and then he had the calf injury, but still no update on Trent, no update on Ayuk. Shanahan seemed to kind of, for those who thought there was meaning in the hug the other day, he kind of put that to rest. There was no meaning, at least what he told us today. But what was your quick takeaway?
Oh, that's who he looks like, bro. Looks like Luka Doncic, man. I'm certain of it. He's Wish Luka Doncic, bro. Or legit.
Now that you're standing right here,
I'm ready for more reps between number one corner.
If only every adventure began with your makers of wishes come true. They would ensure
copyright issues.
Receivers. We're down the receiver depth chart for a lot of these reps, and no Jennings. We had no Danny Gray 2 days ago. Still no Cowing. Maybe he'll come back next week. Jennings for 2 practices in a row.
Cowing would be nice.
But that's because Deommodore Lenoir, I think
he looks great.
He looks fantastic.
He looks great.
But in the same way that Bosa's not practicing every day, right?
Right.
It's like Bosa needs to practice against Trent, and Lenoir needs to practice against Ayuk.
True ones against true ones.
Yeah, it's been a week, so maybe I'm getting a little impatient, but.
What did you make of yesterday? Yesterday, Cowherd was like, big Ayuk news coming. Schefter and Rappaport were like, we don't have any reports of any news coming.
I don't know what to make of that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that somebody that maybe Cowherd and the guys are maybe just guessing, reading that?
I don't.
There was some chatter about Ayuk signing.
I think the handshake thing, and maybe that got people moving. Colin tends to post it when it's like just an agent, like somebody. He's not breaking all this news. He just tweets when something is happening.
Right.
And it did feel like a good day today to do it.
Analysis.
Kind of a couple days removed from DJ Moore. So it did make me think something.
That DJ Moore move, dude. Jesus Christ, man. Like, it's not bad because if he got the DJ Moore contract by just a couple mil, I think DJ was 27.25 annually. So if Because the most I think you should pay Ayuk is $28 million annually. All right. Give him the guarantees. The dude's constantly puts in the effort. I think he deserves the guaranteed part. But anything 30 million plus is just way too much for the guy. I love Ayuk. Best blocking wide receiver in the league, but Juwan Jennings is up there too as well. So anyway.
It's about to happen, but the other one, I was just saying this on my stream, like I was talking to Jeff Schwartz, and then I heard his brother Mitchell on a podcast.
Former Cal Bear, former Oregon Duck, Jeff, right?
And Jeff said to me, he's like, like the O-line community was disappointed that Penei Sewell didn't sign for like $30.5 million. They thought he was going to sign for more. I wonder if Trent expected. Like, is Trent asking for 32?
Well, now that Wirfs has gotten 28.
What is his
year? I know, but all these guys thought they were going to get 30.
That's
and
a
I
good
wonder if
question.
Trent was expecting one of those guys to get 30, and he came in asking for 32.
He's at 23. I mean, there are people that believe that the Ayuk thing is going to get solved quickly, but that the Trent thing could linger into the regular season. There's no way to really know. What's your assessment of the two holdouts?
Trent once missed a whole season.
Right. So he's kind of proven. He's a proven entity in the holdout game.
Yeah. I don't.
Trent has all the leverage in the world right now. And the 49ers did that to themselves, first of all. Okay, let's put that out there. Okay, they had plenty of opportunity to add depth to the O-line, some rookies or whatever. They didn't do that. Anyway, Trent Williams is the heart and soul of the O-line, even though that O-line's trash. Brock Purdy can just cut to the left a little bit behind Trent, and he knows he's just, he's got a little more time. Because you notice a lot of plays, like he cuts to the left a lot, and that right bends. You see it sometimes if over time, if you pay attention to the line, that right side bends a lot. And Brock Purdy kind of needs that, man. He needs something. He needs some sort of blanket on the O-line, and that's behind Trent. So, number one priority. Doesn't matter how he got there. This is how it is. All leverage in the world, give Trent his money.
I don't think you can. I don't know how much you can really bully Trent Williams.
I know.
In negotiation.
And maybe he doesn't want to play anymore. And, that's the other thing.
That would surprise me.
He wants to
I would think that he would want to play. He seemed pretty adamant at the Super Bowl that he wanted to continue to play. What about anybody stand out to you? Anybody that you're – I've been loving what I've been seeing out of Jalen Graham, Renardo Green. To me, if there's one, theme of this camp, it's been the Niner young DBs between Mustafa – Green, Fonga, and Brown. Well, I'm talking about they got 3 young safeties that are pretty good, and then they got about 5 or 6 young corners that are all pretty good.
Yeah,
they've got almost 10 good DBs that are all roughly 23 to 28.
True. Yeah, Green turns 24 this year. He's a rookie. Pearsall turns 24 in a week or two. But is Ambry Thomas off the team?
I think he's going to have a very difficult time making it. But he's also really, really talented. That's going to be something to watch for. Is how many DBs can they go with? They're thin at safety, but they're deep at corner. Last year they got rid of Deshaun Jameson, and then by the end of the year they're signing corners off the street. There's all kinds of guys. And looking back on it, you know what? They really should have just maintained their depth. Now they've got 8 corners with guys like Rock Ya-Sin, Chase Lucas. To me, one of the most interesting parts of the cutdown in August will be after the preseason.
Bonus feature.
How many of these 6 NFL caliber corners can they keep? Can they keep them all? Or they're really more of 8 when you think about. I really like Luter. I like Womack, Renardo Green.
So pretty much every single player is balling out. When we said Womack, I'm kind of shocked by that when he just said that because Womack has not been good from what I heard. But I've talked about this before in other videos I've made. We have plenty of corners that are good enough. Like the depth is perfect. Same thing with safety, considering how Malik Mustafa showed out. Linebacker, obviously, especially from what we're hearing about Winders and Graham. Truly, the defense is perfect as it is. You could add nothing to it, I think, in my opinion. And it's fine. Could you add something like another run stopper as a D tackle? Sure. Another D end? Sure. But that's about it. Nothing more there. O-line is literally the only problem.
They got a bunch of guys back there, and it's like, you can only keep so many. You can't keep 7 corners in the NFL, so that's going to be a big.
I think they're better at corner than they've been. I feel better about them at corner than I'm trying to think, like, when's the last time I felt this good about their cornerbacks at this point in the year? I don't know. Have they come into a season with 3 clear-cut starting NFL corners since?
It's been a while. It's good. You got to go back to the Harbaugh era where they had, Carlos Rogers and Terrell Brown, and they also
throwback,
Culliver, was like a 2nd or 3rd round pick. They had decent depth, and then Culliver, of course, fell
Chase
apart.
Somebody with brass knuckles.
Right, he fell apart. But yeah, corner depth. I mean, you can't fake it.
Nuts.
You cannot fake it. If you don't have good corners, you can't play pass defense. What about Pooney? You think we're going to see Pooney as a starter at right guard, like possibly day 1 going forward, or how do you think they're going to play him?
Like the whole thing with him, right, is that Kansas didn't ask him to move the line of scrimmage a lot in the run game. So I think the preseason is going to be really critical for him. Can he prove? We know that they will prioritize a road grading offensive lineman over pass protection when it comes to that spot, right? Is that fair to say?
Right guard is typically your road grading, run
Mike
blocking monster.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, now a function of health, he just might not be able to avoid being the starter.
Right guard's important in this offense because we all know that left tackle, no matter how short the left side is for the 49ers, when you have Trent Williams who can just bowl over everyone who's practically 2 linemen, you're confident you can go left. If you got someone on the right with so much open field and you're a great right guard, you can create a lot more space. So that's why left guard's not as important in this offense as right guard should be, in my opinion.
I know Burford avoided surgery and he'll still be back in 2-3 weeks.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it feels like a real possibility.
I think Nugent has looked really good at center. I don't know. Maybe the picking up of Pat Elflein maybe means that they're not as enthused by their interior guys. But I like what I've seen from Nugent in the short amount of time in practice. So
there's basically stability at 2 spots right now. It's center and right guard in terms of starters, right?
Well,
right tackle. Sorry, right tackle.
Well, Banks at left guard.
Okay.
Or did you not?
You did it.
No,
You took an idea on a napkin, built a successful business.
Issues, I hope
You don't
not.
think of him as stable?
No, you're right. He's stable. They've just been.
He
10
also
different
didn't
people
play
play
today.
left guard.
Banks was out today.
And they rotated.
Back spasms.
They rotated at left guard 2 days ago, and backup center.
Yeah.
Not feeling great. No, Trent Williams signs. Burford's held. Feliciano and Burford. 4 weeks from now it could be Williams is signed. Burford and Feliciano are healthy. They've got like all these options at guard, and Banks is at left guard, and off you go.
Yeah.
It could be the exact same line after all this.
With the signing of Elfine we just got right now, I truly believe we're good at guard. We drafted one, we drafted 2, with Kingston. I guess we can play right tackle. What else? We got the center, the undrafted free agent who Larry Krueger is high on. Barch, Zakel. We just got Feliciano play left guard as well. We just got so many guards and centers that truly you do not need to look for anymore. There's no more out there. It is what it is right now. Unless Connor Williams, I guess he might be out there still. I guess unless he signed with somebody, I could be tripping. I don't recall. But outside of that, there's really no one else. Right tackle is the only issue, and I'm surprised they're not addressing it enough. They haven't. They're really confident in McKivitz and Jalen Moore for some reason. Jalen Moore in particular. Okay, McKivitz is fine, but Jalen Moore, I don't understand the obsession with that swing tackle.
And last one, and I'm going to call it quits here. How concerned are you about the 49ers run defense or just defensive line? Some people look at it and say, Leonard Floyd's the best opposite Bosa they've had, and they've got good depth. Other people look at it and say, man, they're going to miss Armstead. Man, they're going to miss Greenlaw. They're really going to struggle on that front line. How do you see the Niner front?
Well, he missed Armstead last year, too.
Yeah, he missed a lot of time.
They are going to miss Greenlaw. How do they not take a step back at linebacker? Unless one of your young guys is just
ready.
Maybe they'll have some splash plays and they'll,
I thought Tatum Bethune today was really good at practice. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't watch him much today. What did he do?
He had the.
I mean, how do they not take a step back? I'm not saying like we're gonna be as good without Dre Greenlaw and with the players we have, but if we change the defense to a 5 front, where we need faster linebackers and Graham and Winters are pretty fast, and so is Fred. I think it, based on scheme, that might work out. So we'll see. That's my opinion.
He had the scoop of the forced fumble and ran it back, whatever that is. But then he also had a couple of hits that were really nice. One in the run game where he stopped J.P. Mason, and then Mason, of course, kept running. But I like what I've seen out of Bethune. Today was the first time I thought Bethune actually.
Bethune with the high praise by every creator so far.
This is supposed to be
Look at this.
Supposed to be out of shape media, but
What was that? I would say 5.7 speed, maybe 6.2
speed. Man.
Anyway, check this guy out on the Pac-12 Network. When can we catch
Big Ten Network?
Or Big Ten Network.
Dude, I look like another guy there.
Well, you don't want to be like, you don't want me to be like, and President Putin over here.
There's just some things you can't say.
Yeah. Big Ten Network.
Yeah, like don't say something like that. You can't say that, dude. You get your video flagged so fast, brother. Oh, dude, you just screwed me hard, man. Now it's in my vid. You're demonetized now.
When's the first game?
Week 1.
Who do you know who it is?
Yep.
Who is it? The P-word.
I haven't said. You haven't said. I'll be at Oregon week 1.
Oregon against
Idaho.
Like button if you guys
like
the live so far.
On
37 minutes in.
What can they catch?
Big Ten Network.
Big Ten Network.
It's a 4 o'clock. I got to double check that.
Big Ten Network. Guy Haberman right here, folks. That's going to do it. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle. Thanks to Sharp Corner Sports Cards.
That dude's got Pig and a Pickle on a lock, bro. Okay. All right. So final thoughts, man. Final thoughts. Hold on. Get rid of this real quick. Doing all that. Okay. Brock Purdy is doing good. I think he's doing pretty good in camp, especially without Trent Williams, and apparently most of the time without the real starting offensive line, like Banks is not there, Feliciano's not there. At times, McKidd Kingston, the rookie, 6th-round pick, is playing right tackle at times. It's weird. And Brock Purdy is performing under that. And I think that says a lot, personally, in my opinion. So I'm happy to hear about that with Brock Purdy. As for showouts, like Mason has been doing great so far, except for that fumble today, but apparently outstanding camp. Chris Connolly, I think he makes the roster, even though he's 32, apparently. Still makes the roster. Him and Brock Purdy have too good of a connection. Juwan Jennings, even though he's been out 2 days, again, other guy's been outstanding. A lot of these wide receivers are actually pretty good, even without Ayuk. I'm not saying the team is better, just as good or better without Ayuk. I'm just saying that it seems that the offense is still doing things without him. Sorry. Oh, my God. And the defense is outstanding. We're going to more five-man front, which is awesome. And we have no holes on defense, and that's actually exciting. I think this very well could be the best defense that Kyle Shanahan's ever had. It could. It really could. We've first got to see more evidence of that, but there's potential there for sure. Rookies are standing out. The only problem is with the rookies is like Ricky Pearsall's kind of hurt, Cowling's hurt, and so is Garindo. But again, the offense is doing great. So yeah, I mean, great camp. I mean, this is so far great news. No one's hurt. Knock on wood. This is real wood. Great camp so far. I have no real huge complaints. The only thing I'm disappointed on is Burford's injury and how the O line is not playing very well. That's really just about it. The tight ends are doing well. Cameron Latu, terrible. He's not going to make the team. I feel bad because it's great. It would be great to have a guy with a great blocking ability. So to have two guys like Kittle would be great if he's that good. If he's not that good, then he's got to go because the dude can't catch. He's Vance McDonald 2.0. You know what I mean? So, all right, guys. To everyone who showed up, Johnny Edits, Milwaukee Edits, thank you guys so much. You guys probably the same people or like, bros or something. Appreciate you coming in here. Thank you so much for the love, support. Sub if you like the content, like if you like the video. Yeah, all of fam. I'll see you next video.